My name is Danny Maiorani Jr., and up until recently, I had an actual brick and mortar auto repair shop outside of Seattle, Washington. I had it for about 8 years, but I had to close it because I had a son with a birth defect that I'll talk about a little later. So basically, now that I stay at home with my son during the day, I was looking for something to do with my knowledge and help people out that are spending way too much money trying to get their car fixed. As I was getting German Auto Institute started, I realized that people would probably want to know what qualified me to have a website claiming, I'm some sort of expert or something on Volkswagen, Audi, Porsche, German cars. And so I decided to come up with a sort of a company story, and kind of explain who I am and where I came from. When I was 16, I worked at a quick lube place. I worked there for about 2 years. All the while, I was kind of buying cars, getting into different brands, doing work on them, kind of flipping them here and there when I could. Then I enrolled at a automotive school in Arizona. There was a bunch of courses that I felt were in technology that wasn't going to benefit me very much, and so I ended up just unenrolling from the school and joined the Army because it was right after September 11th, and so as soon as I got in the Army, I went to school for to be a light-wheeled vehicle mechanic, and I was able to test out of the program because I knew enough about vehicles and I had enough work experience. I started taking ASE certification tests, and I became a ASE Master Auto Tech with Advanced Admission certification, and I had a couple certifications in diesel technology as well. I was about 21 when I became an ASE Master Tech. I got stationed in Germany with a maintenance company, and then 2005 we deployed to Iraq. I was in Baghdad, Iraq. I was in charge of what was called third shop, so we did engines and transmissions primarily on Humvees, deuce and a halves, 5-ton trucks, LMTVs, and so they'd roll a commander's vehicle in that blew the transmission up on the way from another base in Iraq, and they'd grab two of us at 10 o'clock at night on a Saturday and say this needs to be done, by 5 a.m. I also up-armored or put additional armor on Humvees in Baghdad. Once I was promoted to sergeant, I was in charge of training other soldiers how to be mechanics. I made sergeant 2.5 years. Then I got an honorable discharge from the Army. Within a few months, I got hired at a local Volkswagen dealer. I got Volkswagen certified. I worked there for about 2 years, learning all the different systems and things like that. And then I started doing my shop on the side. After 6 months or so, I had enough work to start my own shop. And then, as I said, I owned my shop for 8 years. My shop won local awards for runner-up for best auto repair shop in Western Washington out of more than 500 shops 2 years in a row. I also used my GI Bill to get a degree in computerized machining. I had a CNC machine. I used to make aftermarket parts and ship them around the world. I have an AAA degree in computerized manufacturing, which is CNC programming and machining, how to program the machines, how to make the fixtures that hold the parts, and how to cut the parts from scratch. I have answered questions as a Volkswagen and Audi specialist on some question and answer websites where I was paid as a freelance specialist. I had a podcast before my son was born. Within about a month, that had 400 or 500 weekly listeners from all around the world. My original podcast was also sponsored by CRP, which is Continental, Ryan, and Pentosan. If you check out our YouTube channel, I have close to 200,000 views on my YouTube videos on Volkswagen and Audi. I have an older son, he's 8, and when my youngest son was born in December of 2014, he immediately needed to be hospitalized. His colon didn't work. We had to remove his entire colon, and he has a plastic bag called an ileostomy bag that he goes number 2 in. Because of that, I can't really put him into a normal preschool. Basically, I have to be a stay-at-home dad because my wife's insurance covered all of his bills. They were like $500,000. And so now I'm Mr. Dad, I guess. Stays home all day and watches his kids, which is great. And so I came up with this site, and I hope through the podcasts and models and the articles that it'll be helpful for you and save you from throwing any unnecessary parts at your car. And we look forward to hearing from you.